Hot Springs Village Inside Out is a closer look at the greatness of Hot Springs Village, Arkansas and the surrounding areas. People, places, experiences. Hot Springs Village is one of the most beautiful places on earth. Join me, Randy Cantrell, and my co-host Dennis Simpson as we engage in weekly conversations to explore Hot Springs Village Inside Out. Today's show is brought to you by Central Arkansas's favorite radio station, KVRE. Find them on the dial at 92.9 FM. Stream them live at kvre.com. RE/MAX of Hot Springs Village. The award-winning RE/MAX of Hot Springs Village is the largest real estate office inside the village with over 30 full-time agents and support staff. Visit them to learn more about this beautiful place to solve your real estate needs. Call them today at 1-800-364-9007. Find them online at explorehsv.com. They are RE/MAX of Hot Springs Village at 1-800-364-9007 or online at explorehsv.com. Ike Eisenhower State Farm. Ike and his award-winning team have been serving the insurance needs of folks all around Hot Springs Village since 1998. Ike is qualified for State Farm's President's Club, Chairman's Circle, and Hot Springs Village Insurance Agent of the Year. Call Ike Eisenhower State Farm today at 501-984-4100. That's 501-984-4100. Find them online at ikeeisenhower.net. Call them today for all your insurance needs because, like a good neighbor, Ike Eisenhower State Farm is there.
Coming back around. That's what we ought to call this series. We just interviewed Miss Erin a little while ago, who we did a show with about a year ago, and Mr. Gary Mouton, who's joining us again. Gary, last time we talked, you were starting a massive endeavor. What's it been like? He asked knowingly.
Yes. It's been about a 14-month long trial and tribulation to get where we are today.
What did I hear the guy say one time? It's opportunity mixed with difficulty.
Yes. It was quite the experience. Really? It was good. I don't know that I recommend it.
What does your marriage counselor say about it? Does he say it was good for you?
Yeah, I had a friend that says, I wasn't sure that your marriage was strong enough to sustain that kind of an endeavor.
But clearly so.
But clearly so. We came through it okay. There were moments. My biggest caution to people that would think about doing something like this is you look around your home. And anything that you can see with your eyes, you have selected. And if you don't select it, they will select it for you.
Someone will make that choice for you.
Someone will make that choice for you. And a lot of times, we had some foresight and we early selected a lot of things like appliances. Of course, we had to buy those a year early. And we were about 3 weeks away from getting the oven when we wanted to get our occupancy permit. And so the wonderful folks at Metro Appliance were nice enough to give us a loaner, so that's one of the things that you cannot get an occupancy permit without
an oven?
Yes, you have to be able to fully live there. So you need a stove, you need a sink, you need a working bathroom, you need an oven, you need HVAC, you need lights, but you don't need bathroom mirrors, toilet paper roll things, miscellaneous items you can get by without. It doesn't have to be complete, but it has to. You have to be able to live there. You have to have a driveway.
Really, it's funny you should say that. I know some rednecks just outside the village that they don't have an oven. So maybe they got their occupancy permit before. Maybe that's what it was, right?
Yeah, and the village has some unique occupancy permit requirements,
which you know all about now, right?
I know all about now. I know all about.
Well, let's go way back up. And about 14 months ago, you were living here on Lake DeSoto, and bought a couple of lots that the Cooper joined together, that a lot of people thought was just green space because it was very steep. Is that fair enough?
That's fair. That's
and
fair.
Mr. Ellis, who can build on anything apparently, who builds an amazing house, Gerald Ellis, shout out to him, started a project with you, and take us through it, man.
It started out back in the early summer of last year, and it's like no one can do something tomorrow. You start out, we had this big plan of we were going to have the lot cleared in a couple of weeks in July, and we were going to get off and running before the end of July, and be in the home in March or April, maybe at the latest 1st of May. And so your lot clearer guy, well, oh darn, his wife scheduled a vacation. And
there is a pandemic going on.
And there is a pandemic going on, and he comes back from vacation, and some of his people have COVID. And then when they get done with that, then he's the guy that does all of the POA. You'll see these signs where it says we're going to be having a large burn pile fire down by the by Ponce, right?
Yeah,
that's where the POA dumps all their stuff. Well, this gentleman has an agreement with the POA that he can put his stuff there, but he burns it for them. So that came up that right after that. So that was another week that we lost. So we started about 3 weeks late. He thought it was going to take like a week and a half to clear the lot. It took 3.
Well, the last time we talked to you, you were hoping to be in Memorial Day.
Yes,
and then we moved it to maybe Labor Day, and then it's been another year. Well, yeah. Anyway, yeah.
Yes.
14
it was
months.
14 months from the time they broke ground, not from the time we cleared. From the time that we basically, because I had the lot cleared, I had that out of Gerald's scope, and so when we gave him the property, it was I think it was August the 8th, is when we gave it to him, and he broke ground immediately and got the initial clearing and the cut done really quickly, and then lost our concrete guy. It took several weeks to find a new concrete guy, and about the time we got that done, it was deer season.
Oh,
yes.
Right at a year ago, actually, from the date we're talking, we're in late November right now.
That's right. And this was we were trying to get concrete trucks the week deer season opened, and people at the concrete plant says, we can mix all the concrete you want,
but there's nobody to haul it.
There's nobody to haul it.
Yes. And let me make a note. I've done a shout out to Gerald here real quick, who does some amazing homes, no question, yours included, of course. Gerald's kind of known for his subs. I mean, he's always got great subs. You never have to wonder if whatever. When Gerald's having trouble with subs, there's problems with subs all over.
Yes, that's very true. But boy, I'll tell you, I've lived in a lot of places that have a lot of outdoor activities, but I've never lived anywhere where deer season is as big a deal as it is here. I mean, I get that you're short people, but I mean, in mass.
Yeah. Well, back in the days with Cooper in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, Cooper had building crews. And one of the deals is that many times deer season was just understood. We're just going to stop. You'd think it's vacation in the south of France, because everything stops. Everything stops. And their note is that, to keep those guys employed and to have them something to do during the summer, or, during the winter, during the slow season, they would typically give that vacation period, or they were at least allowed, excused, but many times they acted like it was another 2 weeks of vacation, and it was just understood, I've seen that there are, for our outside listeners, there are school districts in Arkansas that still let out the kids for deer season.
Season,
and I know there's somebody in New York screaming, "You're giving a rifle to a 12-year-old?" Life ain't the same everywhere, darling.
That's right.
Anyway, go
That's
ahead.
right.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. So we got through that, but it just seemed like everything was a larger task than what was originally anticipated.
Mm-hmm.
And after deer season, we've had great weather as far as bill wise in the last year. I mean, I'm in construction, so my experience is as soon as you break ground, it starts raining, and it doesn't stop until you're trying to finish.
Now you're talking about Louisiana, right?
I'm talking about pretty much anywhere you go. You put a shovel in the ground, and that's God's signal to open up.
Let her rip, Tater Chip.
Yep. But I mean, we were blessed with wonderful weather during this whole time, and very, very, very seldom did we lose time to weather. It was almost either unavailable resource or I mean, we didn't wait on stuff too much. We did a little bit out of sequence stuff because things didn't come like they wanted, but we weren't ever dead in the water because of it. But there are things that you have to think of way before you want to make sure that you have them when the time comes because of supply chain issues. But we stand here today. We moved in the last night of September, and we are now trying to complete landscaping, and we're still, we've had Four Seasons Landscaping is our folks, and they do a wonderful job. And I'll show you some pictures here in a little while.
Yeah.
But they've been here about 6 weeks, and
6 weeks.
And we're probably a month at least from completing the job.
Oh my Lord. Well, and I really, do you have some chronological photos we can go through that we can show the folks?
Yeah.
Some, I mean.
Some. If you want to see some of the build.
Yeah, well, and actually the site prep, and I wanted to say, after you had it cleared and you walked down it for the first time, did you think, yeah, this is as steep as I thought it was, or no, this is steeper than I thought it was?
It actually was not as steep as we thought it was going to be.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
not
Gerald
not
makes it look better too,
Yeah, and a lot of people that came here, Gerald included, made that comment that now that we've got it cleared, it's not as steep as what it originally appeared.
And Cooper, well, now the POA has GIS information that'll tell you the topo and the range and the flatness and whatever. Right. I was actually talking with Lori Rushing, Rick Marshall and Lori, who partly owns Trademark here in the Hot Springs Village. And I asked them, they have the new place out on DeSoto, beautiful new building, and it's a 2-story. And I said, did you initially plan to do that? She said, we cleared the land and then we saw what the slope was and how it fell off. And we thought, why are we killing ourselves? Dig this out and make it a 2-story. And I thought, well, so you have to be flexible in the building process. Is that fair enough?
That is. There were decisions that got made along the way that, we didn't see coming. Yeah. Right. And so there are things that got done differently, things that got added or changed because either the topography was different than what we had originally anticipated, or the build offered a new opportunity. But of course, all opportunities come with a price.
Do they now? They have.
Yes.
Do they have a little sticker attached to them, or is it just on a mystery question mark some days?
It's usually a mystery question mark. It's usually
to be determined later.
Mark. Yes, to be determined later.
Well, and I'll make note, the location you built is obviously very custom. The house you built there is very custom. And when we talk about building, most people say, well, it takes 3 to 4 months, blah, 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 blah. And that's not inside a pandemic. That's not a super custom house. That's not with all the conditions that come to it. But I can truly see what you're saying. It's literally, how do I say it? It would be, I can see how all the things in order and out of order, I could see how it could have taken even more than 14 months. I mean,
Yes,
there's a lot of work, a lot of moving pieces to put together all at the same time.
there are a lot of moving pieces, and we had to. The biggest thing that we had to do out of sequence was our cabinet maker, which is Jeff Babcock, does beautiful work. He got kind of behind on a big job right before ours, that stretched out longer than he wanted, and he didn't end up starting our cabinets until they should have been installed, and that caused a huge out of sequence for us.
But it's a chain effect, right? I mean, it's a domino type thing. When you push one back, the others go back, the others go back.
If you allow it, and price wise, I made a bad decision in saying we can't lose this time. Let's start painting, and we started painting before the cabinets went in, and that's you would think that's not a terrible deal, right? But and so what you don't think about is all of the masking and taping and plastic that has to go up once you've already painted all the walls and all the ceiling and all the trim, and now you're trying to paint cabinets.
And so they didn't arrive pre-painted. You painted them on site, and
you paint. Yeah, man. These custom cabinet guys, they and that's what, it's not like you ordered cabinets from Home Depot, right?
Right.
Most of these cabinets are, you give them a set of plans, they come to your home and they take measurements in place after the sheetrock's up, and then they go and adjust dimensions, so you get true custom cabinets that are made to fit.
It's not uncommon when I see a lot of construction. I'll see, they run to Lowe's or Home Depot or whatever and grab some cabinets and slap them in, and they'll be off a 1/4 inch, maybe even a 1/2 inch, and they'll put a little trim beside it to try and no. These custom guys, they don't miss it by a 16th, do they?
Not hardly. There'll be a few instances where, a wall might not be totally 100% square, and they'll put a little trim piece. But with most, when you buy stuff from Home Depot and Lowe's, you get 24, 27, 30-inch cabinets, right? And so you buy a 30-inch cabinet and you got a 34-inch hole, you got a 4-inch filler, right? And so you end up with a lot of dead space.
Yeah.
Basically.
Well, and to the average buyer, they don't look at that and go, "Why is there framing around?" It's just
that's right.
It looks good to them,
Yeah.
Well, if you got some photos you're ready to show us, I've got the share option open if you just want to share your screen.
Okay. Yeah, I went back in time a little bit. I'm going to send some more to myself here. I've got some finished that I had ready to show you.
I'll tell you what, if I can, and I think I don't know what the timeline is, but I do have, I did some drone work when you were building.
Yeah.
And maybe I'll drop the drone pictures in at the very end, or the drone video in, and we can see that. But go ahead and share if you're ready to.
Okay.
And I was going to make note, you did have sold your townhouse here on the lake, right?
I did. And Rick Marshall.
And prices going up for the construction cost and everything. It was nice to know that the townhouse went up in value too, right?
It did. It did. It was very nice to know that we were able to make a very nice profit on that we of course immediately spent. But it was nice to have that. That was money that we weren't expecting when we made our plan. Of course, by the same expectation, what we spent here was not what we were expecting either.
Yeah. And for what it's worth, for people that just realistically, when you're building a house and you say, we'll think it'll be 3 to 4 months, it's usually fair to put another 50% on that, to not be unhappy, to say, okay, it took 6 weeks longer than we thought. And I mean, I'm trying to remember, Gary, the last time somebody was finished a project completely before. I mean,
right.
It's rare. It's rare.
It's very rare. It's very rare. It's very rare. And I hear the stories I'm hearing now are, you take Everything, you can't build a house in less than about 5 or 6 months, no matter how big it is. But after that, if you take every $100,000 and you add it on, you can get your months.
Really?
Yeah.
If you just don't mind popping out the checkbook.
That's right.
Ouch. I think I'll wait. I think I'll wait. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
And there obviously are carrying costs too. So there's that. And
Yep. And then you deal with, the huge financial changes that we've had this past year with in the market,
market down 30, cost of money up triple.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, when we thought we were going to move in, the mortgage rates were like 3.1, and now they're around 7.
Geez.
So
what are we starting with? What have you got for us?
Let's see. I'm going to show you. Okay, I'll send these. Let's see. Why didn't that mail drop?
Technology. It's wonderful when it works.
It's wonderful.
It's
wonderful.
It's wonderful.
Yeah, I mean.
Well, I'll tell you what, while you're doing there, let me set up the scene real quick for everybody.
Okay.
Lake DeSoto is about 202 acres, something like that. Lake DeSoto is the oldest large lake that's built. Lake Segovia, which also feeds it, is just up the way. And it's 10 or 12 acres. But as far as boating and skiing, this is the real first main lake built in the 72, 74 range. Excuse me, from where I'm located on the south side, excuse me, the bridge and the police station, everything is down on the west end. The east end is where the dam is, and there's a spillway there that goes down, flows into Lake Cortez. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful complex. You've seen the trees behind my house many times, and they're mixed deciduous hardwood, they're conifers, there's everything. So it's not just a pine forest on this side. And if you go down to Seville is the street. Go down to Seville, drive all the way to the end of Seville. You're sitting on the dam. As you drive to the end of the dam, walk out on the little pebble beach and look hard to the right, and you see Mr. Gary Mouton's brand new house. So it was easy to fly the drone, from the beach back over to your house and kind of do a little zoom in shot. I even prepped out the site where you're putting in the boat dock. So we're ready. Yeah.
Okay.
Any day now.
Yep. All right. So we will start. Let's see. How do I pick up your share screen right here?
Yeah, share screen. Yeah, and I should have it set.
Let's see if this will work. Share.
Has started sharing. Great. Yeah, sure.
There we go.
Can you zoom in on for us, sir? So this is from the lake, shooting back up at the land, and now those that can see the porta potty way up on the street, that's the road, and that's Toledo. Is that correct?
That's correct. That's Toledo. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, you left some beautiful trees up there. Those are hardwoods. That's pretty.
Yeah. We another activity that you have to do before you clear the property is, what trees can I keep, and which ones make sense to keep. So we took out all the pines that were anywhere near the house. Unfortunately, the finest specimen of an oak tree that was probably, I don't know, 28, 30 inches in diameter.
On the property, 100-year-old boy, yeah.
Was about 6 feet from where I sit in our guest bedroom. And so, all of these trees are 100 years plus.
It's funny you should say that. One of the things that just goes unsaid in the village is we love our trees. It doesn't get any more simple than that. Yeah. And by the way, those of you that are listening on the podcast, I encourage you to come to our YouTube channel, Hot Springs Village Inside Out. You can see these with Mr. Gary Mouton. Beautiful pictures, by the way. So click to the next. Tell me what we've got here.
So this one is the first, he's making the cut here. And this is This is the
embankment
basement
cut.
Yep,
The
this is
basement,
this is the basement cut. This is the flat portion, and this is where we build up from there.
And I will tell our guests that are listening, watching here, this shot flattens out this lot about 200% because it's a lot steeper than this, a lot steeper. You can't really see the grade by this shot because we're at the water.
Let's see. I'm trying to see how forward from here.
I think you can just hit the arrow right.
Oh, it's hiding. Is it hiding behind this?
Oh, yeah, there was one behind that. Yeah, if you want to, yeah.
Let's see. Boy. Well.
You want to close that one and just go to the other?
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I may need to. Yeah. Well, like I said, I think you can simply just arrow back over to it. There we go. Great. Oh, oh, wow. And now we're looking back down at the beach.
Yep.
Okay. So the blue paint.
The blue paint is the outline of the foundation. So this is basically where the front door is today.
Wow. Wow. And what a view. And obviously, and this is for me, what I've always wanted. It's the formula that we use for our rentals. I want to walk in the door and I want to see the lake.
Mm-hmm.
So it's literally a straight shot right through the house, right?
Yep.
Wow.
Yes, it is.
And how many thousands of pictures have you taken?
Oh my gosh, this was a couple, several.
You'd think it was a grandbaby the way that you took the pictures, right?
Yes, you'd think it was a grandbaby.
We've got a pumper truck because we couldn't back the regular cement truck down there, I guess, right?
That's right. Yeah, we had a pump truck in here for all the concrete that was poured.
Or those are cheap, right? I mean, they're just by the
and when you just call a guy and he brings it right out.
Oh, does he? Yeah, he's weeks
Yeah.
later. Yeah, but we're looking here at the dam, and on the right hand side, way back in the distance, that's the beach.
Yep, the beach is right there. Man,
what a location, Gary. I mean, anyway, I'm gonna have to ask you later. Go ahead and roll when you're ready.
Yep, and that's obviously footings for the foundation.
Now, are those circular pods there?
Yes, those are for because what we looked at from the water, the basement cut
right
is actually right here. So you can't see it, but there's a 10-foot fall. From this point to this point. So this is where the garage sits, and what they do, instead of putting fill in, this is one of Gerald's deals.
Yeah.
Instead of putting fill in and pouring your garage floor and it either separating from the house later or cracking, they put in a bunch of footings, and these are for piers, and they put in a plywood deck, and the concrete gets poured over. At the end of the day, you can walk underneath our garage.
Incredible. Well, Gerald knows what he's doing, and that fill sounds like a good idea right until it moves.
Yes, that's right.
Oh, wow. A couple of cinder blocks here are being used?
Couple of cinder blocks. Yep, couple of cinder blocks.
Zoom in on that if you could, please.
Yep.
Yeah, there we go. There we go.
And so for those that kind of aren't familiar with that, what you got to do here is, so this is the foundation, the actual foundation of the house. And then the house is brick. So you can't set brick on dirt.
Right.
And so the first thing you do is you waterproof the cinder block. Yeah. And then these smaller bricks get stacked in front of this.
Really?
All the way to within about a foot of the surface. So you have 2 rows of cinder block, and then that's what the brick sits on.
So this blue, the waterproofing that you call it, is this a membrane of some sort, or?
It is. It's a roll-on product. But it is a membrane. They put on this is the first coat. They put on about 3 coats of this.
Wow. To
make sure that the block stays impervious to water.
Yeah. And let's have a discussion here, because, and I don't mean to give construction 101, but you build on a lake. Sounds like a great idea, right? Water rolls down the hill to the lake 100% of the time. And if you do not do water abatement, you will be replacing that foundation. You will be digging a French drain. You will be doing some very, very, very expensive things if you don't do this kind of prep first.
That is correct. And that's what goes down here. There's a French drain that goes in down here. And there was a lot of planning to shed water away from the front of the house.
Well, once it clears the front, it's fine. Yeah, well, once it clears, so you just divert it around the house. One of the things that people say, and I mean, let's look at it. This dirt looks really, really dry, Gary. I mean, when it's ever going to flood? Yeah.
As soon as it rains, because what you don't see from this picture, and I had one that I didn't pull up, but from and this is a pile up here, but you've got about, geez, I don't know, 3 or 4 inches of soil. I'm not sure I would really call it that. I would call it more like crushed rock.
Right.
And then you've got plates of rock. And between those plates of rock, the water will run.
Wow. Hey, hang on one sec, Gary.
Yep. Okay, so here we are on the flat portion of the property, lakeside, looking back towards the house. This is the foundation that we were just looking at from where you see the piece of equipment up here. This is pretty much completed of this. This became our safe room for storms inside here. That's the top, the roof of this is the porch, our front porch. Which we ended up with a default room there.
I was about to say, it looks very safe to me.
Oh, it's concrete on 6 sides.
And has the French drain on the other side, right?
And has a French drain on the other side and down this side.
Wow. And so we're seeing the stripe of, this is the regular foundation wall of for the basement in front of us here?
Yes. This one right here.
Yeah, no, I mean the lateral line coming, right there,
this one. There. Yeah, this is so there are 2 kind of crawl spaces in the lower level. We elected not to finish the whole basement. So the part under the guest rooms is about 14 feet wide. So it comes to over here so you can see part of the land didn't get cut.
Right. And well, just nosy, but how big a man cave does a guy need? I mean, I'm just asking.
Yeah, exactly. And that was my thought process. But it was also, well, if we don't cut this and we don't finish this, well, we're going to save some money. But by the time you deal with all this stuff, I think it's at best a wash.
Really?
Yeah. And if I had it to do again, I'd have just done the whole thing and I'd have just had more storage downstairs.
And I'll tell you this, I see a lot of times, I see people that make a big move in their building project to fix something else and then go, well, in the whole scope of things, it really wouldn't have mattered. It would have been about the same. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. It was like where our bedroom is. I thought it was too big at one time and I pulled it in 2 feet. Well, that made a new roof line.
Oh boy.
That brought the foundation in, and it made an indentation for the foundation. It was this whole chain of, I'm going to save 30 square feet and I'm going to probably spend another $5,000. So, we didn't do that. We pushed it back out.
Yeah. So it's a chain effect, right? It's a chain reaction.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It always is.
Well, show us another one here. What have you got?
Let's see. What do we got here?
And by the way, we're talking a year plus ago here for these photos, right?
Yes.
Good Lord, you finally got somebody working. I'm telling you.
How about that? My wife laid a few blocks.
What if I said this looks staged to me? Would that be?
No, she did that actually.
Really?
Yeah. She wanted to lay a block. And so what you're looking at here is the garage.
And this is the plywood on top of the piers on top of the footing.
Correct. Yeah. Yep, and they will rebar this and pour the slab on this, and then they wreck out the plywood afterwards.
I got news for you. That Gerald guy's smart. He knows his stuff. Yeah. Wow. Okay. But and every day you're building this, and I'm like, what a view from this deck.
Yeah.
From the garage. Yeah.
We didn't get anybody that came here and said, man, it really sucks to work here.
Nobody was like, can't wait to get off this side.
That's right. Yep. Let's see how we can do these. Hopefully I can get this to come over. Oh,
yeah. I was about to say, I think you've got about as many pictures as if you had a grandbaby. It looks like to me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Your grandbaby would have been cheaper. Is what I'm thinking.
Yes. Yeah. Let me just do this.
Okay.
And there we go. Let's see. Get back to the
top okay.
Here.
Cool. Yeah.
So now we're framing.
Oh, geez.
Let's see if
there's a lot of lumber here, Gary.
Oh my gosh. Yes. So You've got the whole roofing system is all trusses, and the floor system, which you didn't see, is all trusses as well.
And
So
let's cut to the chase. These trusses come to you pre-manufactured.
yes, there's a wonderful place just outside the East Gate, just south of where Cranford, the old Cranford used to be,
Right.
called Mitchell Brothers.
And they build trusses.
And they build trusses. That's what they do. So they take the plans, they design them, they manufacture them, and then they deliver them to the site.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. So
Wow.
there ends up
dear Lord,
being
man.
a lot of lumber.
A lot. And let me see, lumber was falling? No. It was, yeah, astronomical at the time, right?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
So now we're beginning to see how the house actually fits into the foundation. I know for those of you that are, why are they spending so much time with the foundation? This is why.
Yeah.
I see. There's a lot of lumber just on the foundation alone. I see on the left-hand side, is this the chimney on the outside patio?
Yes. Yeah, it is.
Interesting. Interesting.
So that's got a, 7-foot tall block structure holding it up.
We needed a human in this picture for perspective. The block underneath the chimney is 7 feet tall, right?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, scroll us down.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's go to the next set. And so now
Here,
I was looking for
some. Expand that if you would.
I was looking for some that might be might have had them putting the brick on the house. Let me see if I can make this set bigger. Come on. Where are you?
Control plus, typically, if that's what you're. But
that's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, you know. So this is.
I'm trying to move it over, but I can't.
So let me. And this is you have a deck. I didn't know you had a little boat dock patio.
Yeah. So I this is temporary.
Okay.
My cousin that lives directly across from you.
Oh yeah.
On Madrid. Oh, he lives on.
Is that El Cane? No,
Santana on Santona. Yeah. Santona across the lake from you.
Yeah.
He had this dock, and Nick Daly is about to start him a non-floating dock with a lift.
Okay.
So he said, well, they're just going to throw this away. So why don't you just take it in the meantime? Because we can't get anybody over here till next year to put us a dock.
Well, no. So this perspective is very interesting. I see the riprap here beneath us. This is the garage on this side. From the bottom here to the very top of the house, how many feet tall of brick are we talking?
About 30.
So about a 3-story building on this side.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, scroll us down.
And then this is the finished living room.
Oh, wow. That's beautiful, man. Now, let me get this straight. So this only gets the Dallas Cowboy channel, or how does this work?
Yeah, that's actually the Chiefs channel.
Okay, the Chiefs. Okay, I'm just making sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Absolutely beautiful.
And
there's your space heater for the patio.
Yep. So there are 3 of those back here.
So explain to the people, and can you blow this up just a little more if you don't mind? And I know we're going to chop off part of it if we do that. Yeah, there we go. On the left-hand side, there's a black, like an anodized railing, and there's a black. Yep. Is that a screen? What is that?
Yep, those are motorized screens.
So you hit a button and the screens come up, and you've got the whole lake, or you hit a button and they come down. And do they protect the heat or the warmth? I mean, what do they do?
So when I took this picture, it was 36 degrees and raining outside.
Really?
There, I have a thermometer on that table that said it was 68 degrees in this room.
Really? So it's like they are like a thermal shield of some. Is there glass or is it just a?
No, it's just
really
it's just a 95% UV screen. Wow. And of course, I have 3 6,000 watt heaters out here.
Yeah. And it gets nice and toasty warm. That's
and of course, the fireplace was going.
Well, it expanded the living area tremendously. I love it.
It does.
What's the ceiling? Is the ceiling just a wood or what?
The ceiling is pine.
That's beautiful.
Yep. Yeah. It's a tongue and groove pine.
Scroll down and show us more. I'm just eager to see around. Oh, yeah. Wow.
This is the game room downstairs.
This is not the breakfast nook upstairs. This is the game room.
This is the game room downstairs. So you've gone downstairs. This is the sucky view again.
Sucky view. Sucky view. SV. SV.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. This is the reverse of that. And of course, like I said, we're still settling in. So I've been, one of the things that actually the electricians were here on Monday, finishing up the LED tape lighting. They could not get transformers. So, yeah, they just finished that. So now I've got to kind of load all this stuff into the bar. But
wow,
we finally got that done. This is Debbie's garden room where she has all her downstairs. This is the game room to your left.
Through that door.
Through that door. This is the downstairs patio.
Beautiful.
So we've got water in the ceiling to water the plants in the wintertime in this drain. If I can find my cursor again.
So I'm thinking what you didn't think of here, and I'm not thinking of anything you haven't thought of yet. So far, it'll come to you, right?
Yeah. It's
this has been like a full-time job, hasn't it, though, Gary?
Yes. Yeah.
Or full-time and then some.
Full-time and then some. We were here every day, Debbie more than me, because a lot of the time last year, I was working a whole lot, and she was here all day, every day. I don't know that there was a day that we weren't here. There were no vacations this year.
Yeah,
for a multitude of reasons. But not wanting to, and I don't want to say not wanting to miss what's going on, but not wanting to miss an opportunity to weigh in on a decision, because there are decisions that are made daily.
Yeah, no, I know all about it. Well, what's down below here? So this is like a storage room? This
is the storage room. Yeah.
Is that a hot water heater, or is that what?
Yeah, that's the water heater. Yeah.
Wow. So, and how many square feet did we end up having here?
We ended up with heated and cooled about 4,300, about 8,000 in total.
Yeah, I was about to say, it looks a lot bigger than 4,300.
That includes this room. That includes her room. That includes my workshop. That includes the outside decks. And the garage is about 8,000. There's about 5,000 under roof.
Jeez.
So this is
the bottom patio view.
This is the bottom patio, and this is what the guys are working on now.
Again, not a sucky view. Again,
not a sucky view.
Who did your stonework here on your
Four Seasons Landscaping did.
Oh, so that's what. Oh,
yeah, they're doing all of this.
It's magnificent, buddy. It's magnificent.
Yeah. And so this is her butler's pantry.
Yeah. I remember about this time last year. Was it when was Randy here last time? In the spring?
Yeah, I think in the spring.
And when we took a quick tour through, and I remember standing in what was going to be your kitchen, and you were saying, "How about that view, Dennis?" And I'm like, "What? I just couldn't grasp. This is going to be the kitchen, And this is, oh my God, what a view! And this is still the butler's pantry.
Yep, this is the other side of it. The other side of the butler's pantry.
So now below here, is this the master bedroom?
This is the master. Yeah.
Looks lovely. Yeah.
Another sucky view there.
Yeah, another sucky. Oh, the struggle is real here, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. It's funny. We're in the same situation. It's like, I had a home up on Rivercrest, and it was a regular ranch style house that was a 2-story, and they had put in a sliding glass door, and it had this unbelievable 35-mile view over Maumelle and North Little Rock, and it had a little bitty doors, and it was a classic example of not building the house to the view or the location or whatever. But no, that's not the story here. This is magnificent. And wake up every morning and struggle with the view, right?
Struggle with the view, yeah. And this was a it was a short argument that I lost. So I'm basically standing in front of the doorway that goes to our master bathroom.
Oh, okay.
Well, in years past, Debbie would always want to sleep on the side of the bed that was closest to the bathroom. Oh. And I got the other side. Well, now that's no longer the case. She sleeps on this side of the bed so that when she opens her eyes, she looks out of that window and sees the sun coming up.
It could be worse.
It could be worse. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you'll notice there are no curtains anywhere now. We don't have any.
It's
We
funny
have
you should
zero.
say that. We were thinking that same thing. Yeah.
Yeah. We have zero curtains in the house.
We
And don't plan to put any.
One of our rentals over here, people were like, well, there's no curtains. I'm like, there's nobody that can see you, number one. And number two, why would you block this view? So I get it.
Yeah.
Formal living room, beautiful.
Yeah, the dining room. Yeah, the dining
Are we about
room.
to have the kiddos over this weekend?
We were. Our son is not coming until Christmas.
Okay.
They're doing Thanksgiving with the other family.
Okay.
And we had some of Debbie's relatives were coming up from Louisiana, but the flu hit them.
Oh man.
So it's going to actually be a pretty small crowd tomorrow. It's just going to be my parents and possibly my mother-in-law. She's getting over the flu. So it's only going to be 4 or 5 people here. So
I've decided,
not exactly what we planned.
I've decided we all have a flu vid variant.
Yes.
Now these glass structures, the one we saw in your picture earlier, these are Cholula alike, or a lot of people identify them as Cholula glass, right?
Mm-hmm. This is a commissioned glass art from a fellow named James Hayes over in Pine Bluff.
I've heard of him. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you go to any of the Saracen Casino.
He's
got a ton in there. He's got a huge one at Garvin Gardens.
Mm-hmm.
And there are several people in the village that I have also had one made for him. What Debbie did is she took this is a photograph, and you can't see it real good from this picture of the Sea of Cortez. Something they call the green flash.
Gotcha. Right.
So
Cortez.
She took these colors
in that picture above the fireplace, took those colors and made this glasswork from it,
and picked out all of these different colors to make this thing. Yeah.
And so this was custom made for the house.
And he comes in and actually builds it right here.
What?
There's a little metal can with the lights in it that he hangs from the ceiling, and every one of these pieces has a piece of stainless steel wire on it, and he's never had this together before. They just blow the glass, the pieces that you picked, and then he brings it, and he and his wife, she says, no, not right there, and he moves it and ties it up over here. It's a pretty interesting deal. There's a whole series of pictures and videos that go with that thing as well.
Wow. Amazing. Beautiful. Yeah.
Yep.
And that's Paul Hayes, you said?
James Hayes.
James Hayes from Pine Bluff. I'm sure you can find him on the web.
Yep. Look him up.
So then beautiful pine beadboard above this.
Yep.
Looking out over the Lake Cortez or Lake DeSoto Beach. I'm sorry.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
This is gorgeous.
And this is the same stuff we used under the front porch. I don't think I included a picture of that.
Yeah, and I love the architectural stairwell, the hand railing. That's beautiful.
And again, this is a whole nother go to the guy's shop. I mean,
Really?
this is not a Home Depot product and I don't mean to discount a Home Depot product, but something that you go and you pick it out of a catalog.
Yeah, this is a custom.
This is a guy that this is all steel. This is steel hand railing. So
let me answer one question that a lot of people, in school, you may say, am I ever going to use this math? Am I ever going to use this? The guy that built this, he uses that math every day.
Every day.
The angle, you don't want to make I'm not going to take a number at what I think it is, but it's not an inexpensive piece of hand railing and make it misalign and not hit the ground at the right place. And yeah.
No, he comes out there and he measures everywhere that he needs a lake to hit. He did this and I kind of saw him, but when we have some, they're kind of hard to see in this picture, but where the stairs are, oops, that didn't do what I wanted it to do.
Okay.
See down here, we have steps. We have sets of steps down here. So
way down at the lake. Yeah.
Yeah. On the way going down there, 4 4 sets of 3 or 4 steps.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had to put a handrail there, and I helped him measure those. And every distance, every step, because this is flagstone done in place. So
Right.
one's 7.5, one's 8, one's 6 3/4. They're all sort of different.
And you're not moving them when the handrail's in place. You're done.
No, you're done.
Wow.
So it was pretty interesting. Yeah, he does great work. Let's see. Did I go the wrong way?
Well, we just went a little. Yeah, we didn't go far enough. There you go.
Yeah.
There's the one. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there are 4 seasons still out there working on it now.
4 seasons out there. Yeah. So they've got this border to put up, and then all of this area will all be grass.
Wow. So they have an landscape architect that comes out and helps you plan this out.
So Debbie and I did this.
Really?
As far as the general layout.
Yeah.
And then Chris Wade, that owns 4 Seasons, he sits with us and we go, that doesn't quite work right. We make some adjustments. But when it comes time for the actual, what you're going to put in the flower beds, he teams up with Greg Brashears at Brashears Nursery.
Brashears Nursery. Yeah.
And he comes and you go meet with him. And you go, okay, we like this kind of plant, that kind of plant, this kind of plant. And then he brings out a whole truckload of stuff and he starts plopping stuff down. And you go, no, don't like it. We need more of that. And he goes, you like it? Yep. And then he packs up the rest of his stuff and leaves, and the 4 Seasons guy plant them.
Wow. It hits me this way. This has been a real education, has it? I mean, and you were a smart guy before. I mean, you knew the construction area.
Yes, but not like
not
this.
like you do now.
And not like I do now.
Wow, it's pretty gorgeous. This is just awesome.
Yep. And this is from the deck right outside of our bedroom. This is the boat dock is just out of frame over here.
Yeah.
But we ended up with a couple of planters.
I think I've got a friend that'll want to buy that boat dock from you when you're done, by the way.
Okay.
Truly,
right.
I'm glad you said that. I thought, I've got a friend who was looking. So he called the other day. He's here on DeSoto, and he was like, "Do you know anybody that's got a spare boat dock?" I'm like, "A spare boat? No, I don't."
Yeah,
beautiful.
Yeah, and it was a pretty easy deal. It's got these 2 chains that you got to put an anchor in to hold it to the land.
Yeah, that's it.
And it just sits up. Yeah, and my cousin said, I'm over here trying to unbolt it from the land and stuff because it had some plates bolted on it.
Right.
And he goes, no, tie it onto with your boat and take off. It's just gonna go. Because this wharf is hinged and it's got a float. It's got one of those poly floats under it, so it goes down in the water on this end, but it doesn't sink. So you just pull it around.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, show us the view out the back from the top story if you can. I see that. Now this is your bedroom, of course, on this side.
Yep. Yeah, this is from the corner of the deck there.
Because I still haven't seen the view from when I'm standing in the kitchen looking back out, which is pretty stinking magnificent.
It is, and let me see real quick if I can get you one. Oh, not there.
We're back. Yeah, that's the view I was thinking of. Yeah, if you have to wash dishes, that's a view I would struggle with. I could rinse out a cup with that view.
Yes. So this is right before we moved in the house. It's almost done in this picture. You can see there are no cabinet knobs on. That was one of the undertakings I had. It's another thing you learn, that you don't get knobs on for free.
Knobs are extra?
Yeah, the cabinet maker or the finish carpenter will be happy to put the knobs on for you, provided you have, you both have time, for a menial cost of $2 per hole.
Not per knob.
Per knob. So if you have a pull that has 2, that is $4. We had 312 draw pulls.
312.
Yeah.
Oh, my Lord. And for those of you that are like, man, that $2, what is the number one? $2 doesn't seem that bad. Number 2, until there's 300 of them. And number 3, the problem is, if you've seen these guys do this, if they do it like I suspect your guys did, they have a jig. And they
Yeah.
put it on the middle of they'll put it on the middle of the drawer and go, okay, where's the middle? These two,
Yep.
and then they go position it another, position another. And if they scratch it, we're back. Yeah,
we're back. That's right. Yeah,
we're back.
Yeah,
we're back.
And
wow.
I ended up going out and buying a professional jig.
Really?
And it was a lifesaver.
Really?
Yeah. The issue is if you're putting on a little round knob on the corner, of a door, you can use this. You can make yourself a jig, and you can use that over and over.
Yeah.
But you'll look around here, and up above we have doors, but down below, except for under the sink, pretty much everywhere in the house there are drawers, and so those aren't in the those aren't on the edge.
So my guess is there's plenty of storage, is what I'm hearing you say.
Yeah, that was the theory. That was the theory. She's still looking for a place to put some things.
Really?
So, yeah.
Well, and then the man cave is off limits. I'm helping you.
Yes. It's a last holdout at this time. It is. Yes. Yes.
Wow. How beautiful. What a man.
Yeah. So this is to the right. And then this is our loaner. We now have our permanent oven.
Yeah. Those Metro folks are really nice. They really are.
Yes.
And they sell the good Sub-Zero and the Wolf
stuff. They sell the good stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did I have another one up here? Yeah. This is the other side where the cooktop is.
Is that a Viking?
No, all the appliances are Thermadors.
Oh, really? Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
And what is this? 10-foot ceilings, 11-foot ceilings?
This is 12.
12.
Yeah.
A lot of crown molding up there.
Yep. You can see the painters weren't quite done yet when this picture was taken. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
We'll scroll down a little. We're going to have to wrap up for time here in a minute, but give us the living room shot. That kitchen is just beyond, man.
Yep. And this is the bar. Our breakfast area is between that island that we saw here and here. There's about a 10-foot space there. We have a breakfast table there.
And what are these what are the floors here?
These floors are eucalyptus.
Eucalyptus.
Mm-hmm.
From Africa, I guess.
From California, to be honest.
Really?
Yep.
It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Yep. And the cabinets are all what's stained is a product called rustic beech. So it's very knotty.
Yep.
It's got a lot of character in it.
Yep.
There's, a lot of it is not smooth. It's got where these knot holes are. It's kind of eaten out. The other cabinets, all the white cabinets, are also beech, but they're a finished beech.
Yeah, they're cabinet grade.
Yep.
Yep.
Let's see. Bring this picture back for you.
Well, while we're waiting here just a second, Gary, thanks so much. You've been so gracious.
Oh, you're very welcome.
No, the entire time from a year ago to today, I feel like we've kind of barged in and said, "Show us what you're doing," and you have been super gracious at every point. So we can't thank you enough.
Thank you for saying that. Not what I wanted to do here. Come on.
Through there. So this is the main living area. And now do you have a shot from there out over the lake? And I want to tell people first, living on the lake, it's difficult because the outside light and the inside light conflict all the time. That's why your kitchen shot was so amazing. It's hard to get a good shot that has the outside light and the inside still lit too.
Oh, can you pause?
Oh, sure. Yeah. Whoop. I think.
There it is.
So this would be the view out the window looking. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's right now.
Wow, that is. And you mean right now? You just took this photo.
I just took this photograph. Yeah. Didn't even take time to fold a blanket.
No problem.
Yeah.
It hadn't got old yet, has it?
Not yet. Wow. It has not got old.
Did you have any others that you wanted to show there?
Yeah. So this is
holy cow.
This is sunrise the other morning.
Holy cow! And on behalf of Tim Ernst, who does these photography, you did this with a cell phone, right?
That's a cell phone picture. Yeah. Imagine what you could do with a real camera.
Imagine. Yeah, I was just thinking that is gorgeous, gorgeous, man.
Yep.
That's what we need to do for the YouTube paste frame. Yeah. Here's the deal. I see the fog picking up in the morning and moving down to your end of the lake.
Yep. And
So,
then when you wake up and before the sun pops, there's no fog.
yeah, isn't it odd?
And then as soon as the sun pops, you get the fog and it blankets. And then in 30 minutes, it's like, what fog? It's completely gone.
Yeah. Now here's the funny thing.
Crazy.
You've lived on the lake here at the village for quite a long time anyway at another location. You never saw this fog so often, did you?
Never saw it at all. I mean, it would have to be a fog set day over the mountains, right, to see it where we were, just because we were on an offshoot of the lake. Yeah. Although we saw water every day, we never saw this.
Your friend and mine, Mr. Marshall, says not all water is created equal.
That is true.
And frankly, there's no two places alike, to be frank about it. Literally, there's not. Every view of the same lake and every view is a little different every day.
Yep.
And I was just telling you earlier, we had recorded with Tim Ernst, who's the premier wildlife photographer for Arkansas. And he was talking about the views here that you have, that fog. I mean, it's just for a few minutes, just like you said, it's maybe 30 minutes, maybe every day. Absolutely beautiful. Have you got another one, or can I have a video rolled up.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. Let me drop that just for a sec. Or actually, let me ask you to drop your sharing for a second.
Yep.
And apparently, my absolutely wonderful and guys that I love, hello, why is that up there? There we go.
Oh, hello.
There we go. My landscapers that I dearly love have decided to have an assault with us at this very moment, but here we go. So this is right over, literally where the cursor is right here. This is our unit number 15 Toro Del Mar right here on the very point. I'm sorry. No. This is the south side. That means Diane and I live.
You live right
about here. Yeah, we're right in here. But I just did a slow span. This is to give people kind of an upside down view of where we're at. And we're looking from the middle of the lake. We're going to be looking down at your unit here in just 1 second. And actually, I'm going to pause it just a second. There is the beach that you're looking at. There's the spillway, and here's the dam along that side. And your unit's right here looking back out across this way, correct?
Correct.
Okay, let me let that roll just a second more. Yeah, why would people want to live here, Gary? I just don't get it. Would you?
No, I don't know what the deal is.
Beyond our understanding. Well, I think, this is me, this is an ever-evolving story, isn't it, Gary?
It is. It is. It is still evolving.
5 or 6 months, maybe?
I believe so.
Why don't we check back in with you then? Would you mind?
Okay. No, that'd be great.
Gary, it has been an absolute pleasure. I know we've had a lot of technical issues to put all this together, but you've, as always, been very gracious, and it's wonderful having you here.
Thanks for having me.
Hot Springs Village Inside Out, I'm Dennis Simpson. He is Gary. We will see you next time.
Bye.
Thanks for watching and listening to Hot Springs Village Inside Out, a weekly podcast starring Hot Springs Village, Arkansas. Visit the website at hotspringsvillageinsideout.com.